From Mexico to the Philippines, evangelistic campaigns ignite hope in Jesus with thousands of baptisms. Andrews University celebrates 150 years of shaping leaders for the global mission to spread the eternal gospel to islands and continents. King and Queen of Tonga embark on health and spiritual growth missions in the United States. Adventist Nursing College in northern Nigeria trains health leaders with social commitment and faith. 90-year-old woman in Zambia lives the promise of faithfulness to the gospel and the Adventist Church. Stay tuned with us for these and more news here on ANN. A 150 years ago, Andrews University began shaping professionals and leaders to serve the mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Today, a century and a half later, the university continues the educational and spiritual legacy of preparing pastors and missionaries to face the challenges of spreading the gospel worldwide.
In 1874, Andrews University was founded as a prominent educational institution dedicated to training professionals across a wide range of fields. Throughout the year, a variety of programs and events were held to celebrate the university's 150th anniversary, highlighting its rich history and commitment to education.
Andrews University is very, very important for the worldwide church and for the General Conference, because you have to remember that the seminary started in the General Conference when it was located in Tacoma Park. So after a few years, it moved to here. But you have to also remember that at the time it was the only university, legal university, that we had in the world. So that's why Andrews became so important for the world church. Later on, as the years went by, we had other universities. Right now we have over 120 universities, but Andrews continues to be a blessing for the world church because this is where it all started.
Andrews is renowned for its commitment to training pastors and missionaries who are dedicated to spreading the message globally.
We have two others. Number one, we have a challenge of reorganizing the way that we are sending our missionaries to the world. And for this reason, we have a movement called Mission Refocus. That is a reorganization of mission, trying to send missionaries to the front line, to the most challenging place of the world, the non-enter and low-enter areas of the world. This is a challenge. We are working on this challenge, and we have 10 years to reorganize all the way that we are sending missionaries. Now, this is a challenge. And another one is focused or concentrated in what we call the 3 mission windows. The 1040 window, that's a very known window around the world. But the second mission window, that is the post-Christian window. And the third one, that's the urban window. This represents 3 major areas where we don't have a strong presence and we need to move forward. We need to contextualize. We need to keep our identity. We need to find ways to prepare missionaries to send to those areas. All those challenges we are facing as church, as group, organization that is working with the mission of the church.
As the office overseeing the Global Adventist Church develops new strategies for sending missionaries, the department at Andrews University dedicated to training pastors remains focused on its mission, preparing leaders to effectively preach and serve.
So there is a great need right now for conferences, unions, institutions to continue sponsoring your students. There is a tremendous need for pastors. Therefore, we need the institutions to be aware that students need to be sent here. And many students do not have the capabilities to come here. They want to come, they want to study, they want to do their Masters of Divinity, but they can't come. So a big need is for the conference to realize, conferences, unions, divisions to realize that they can do something. They can send students here. But even better than that, start from the ground up, from the Sabbath school divisions to academies and colleges, and plant that bug in their ear to say, how about becoming a pastor? How about? There's a tremendous shortage of pastors, as we said, but we need to start cementing that and planting that idea in our kids. How about being a missionary? How about being a pastor?
First of all, we need to understand that the primary mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is to lift up Christ, his righteousness, and his three angels' messages. This was the unique gift and commission given to the Seventh-day Adventist Church by God himself. That's a fulfillment of Revelation 12:17, people who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. In Revelation 14, verse 12, the same pattern, the commandments of God and the faith and the testimony of Jesus. This is so vital that we understand. That's why we need pastors who not only are those who will take care of the flock, but they have a mission focus completely embedded in them.
So it's very important for them to be here at Andrews, because Andrews is a worldwide institution. It's a general conference institution. It's an institution that attracts students from 100 countries. And just in the seminary, we have students from 30 countries. So for us, it's very important to be here, because we will be sending students, administrators, missionaries, literally to all the world. So the impact is huge. And that's why we want to prepare them well, so that they go and make a big impact around the world.
Congratulations to Andrews University for 150 years of history and global impact with the message of Christ. The Seventh-day Adventist Church in Negros Occidental, Philippines, in partnership with the U.S.-based organization Revival of Hope Global Outreach, hosted an evangelistic series with hundreds of people baptized.
Under the theme, Journey to Hope, the campaign spanned several districts in the region. The messages emphasized the importance of the second coming of Jesus and the mission of sharing the gospel. Supported by local leaders, the initiative reached a large audience, resulting in baptisms and decisions for Christ. Over 500 new members joined the Seventh-day Adventist Church, thanks to the collaborative efforts of pastors and church members.
This event highlights the impact of collective missionary work and the Seventh-day Adventist Church's commitment to spreading the message of God's love, preparing people for the imminent return of Jesus Christ. In Mexico, the Adventist Church has achieved a historic digital impact with its 4th national online evangelism series themed Jesus is Enough.
Well, everyone, the day has finally arrived, and I have an important message to share with all of you, both here in Mexico and beyond.
The series broadcasted from Tuxtla Gutierrez, Chiapas, across digital platforms, radio, and television, and reached over 27,000 devices live. A record-breaking number, the event highlighted a year of mission initiatives, uniting 5 major church regions. Each night, topics like identity, spiritual battles, and Jesus' sufficiency were shared. Members hosted Houses of Hope nationwide, with baptisms soaring past 12,000 across Mexico. Community outreach included broadcasts in schools, parks, and public squares, drawing diverse audiences and fostering new connections.
This evangelistic series brought digital engagement to new heights and also strengthened the faith of members and expanded outreach. In northern Nigeria, a milestone unfolded at the Adventist College of Nursing Sciences, Jengre, as 81 pioneer nursing students celebrated their inaugural capping and jacketing ceremony.
The event marked the students' transition from academic learning to hands-on clinical practice. The ceremony symbolized the beginning of their professional journey, highlighting the blend of compassion, ethics, and spiritual dedication integral to caregiving. Key speakers emphasized the importance of holistic care, nurturing the body, mind, and spirit, while inspiring the students to uphold the values of excellence, integrity, and resilience. The celebration featured heartfelt testimonies from students who shared their dreams and the spiritual strength that has guided them so far.
This ceremony not only launches a new tradition, but also sets a high standard for the future of healthcare in the region, blending faith, knowledge, and a commitment to serve. Throughout history, individuals have remained committed to God and His Word despite challenges to religious freedom. In a special message, Pastor Ted Wilson, the president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, explores part 2 of chapter 35 of The Great Controversy by Ellen White. Wilson examines prophecy, focusing on the rise of the Roman Church and its implications for future religious liberty.
Hello, friends. In our last video, we saw our religious freedom is precious and must not be taken for granted. We also saw how throughout the Dark Ages, the Roman Catholic Church enforced its dogmas through the power of the state, showing the dangers of what happens when church and state unite. And yet, even during those dark times, God had His faithful ones who remained true to Him. We think of the Waldenses, Wycliffe, Huss, and Jerome, Martin Luther, Zwingli, Tyndale, Knox, Whitfield, and the Wesley brothers, John and Charles. All these and many more who remain nameless in martyrs' graves testify to God's faithfulness despite impoverishment, prejudice, persecution, and more. Today, millions of people are able to worship according to their conscience. And although freedom of religion is not practiced in all countries of the world, many, including in the United States, still enjoy this freedom. We know, however, that according to Bible prophecy, this will not always be the case. Revelation 13 describes a beast rising out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. John continues describing the vision, saying, "Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard. His feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world marveled and followed the beast." As we studied this passage in an earlier video, we learned that the book of Revelation is filled with symbols. We also learned that this sea beast of Revelation 13 represents the Roman Catholic Church.
For the full episode and other videos delving deeper into the Seventh-day Adventist faith and its story, visit our official channel on YouTube. Ted Wilson, the president of the General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, welcomed the official visit of the royal couple from Tonga. Their mission aimed to promote the health and well-being of the Tongan people, aligning with the longevity principles practiced by the Adventist community in Loma Linda, California.
King Tupu Sixkens and Queen Nanasipau of Tonga embarked on a mission of health cooperation and spiritual development, starting in Washington, D.C., where they met with leaders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The delegation visited the Museum of the Bible, exploring its collection and learning about the global impact of the Scriptures. The royal couple also visited the world headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Silver Spring, Maryland, where they were welcomed by President Wilson. He was accompanied by leaders from the General Conference. During the tour, the monarchs learned about the history of the Adventist Church in Tonga and its health initiatives in the South Pacific. As members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, King Tupu Sixkens and Queen Nanasipau sought to deepen their understanding of health principles based on divine guidance, with the goal of applying these teachings to improve the quality of life and longevity of the people of Tonga. The following stop on their mission took them to Loma Linda, California, one of the 5 blue zones of the world, where people live 10 years longer than the global average. The visit began at the Loma Linda University Medical Center, where the King and Queen interacted with medical experts to learn about practices contributing to longevity. Loma Linda is known for its healthy lifestyle, including a vegetarian diet, regular physical activity, and attention to mental and spiritual health. The city is home to about 9,000 Adventists who are recognized for their healthy practices. Dr. Richard Hart, president of Loma Linda University Health, emphasized the importance of applying the health principles of Loma Linda in Tonga to improve the quality of life for the population, showing how these habits can benefit the island. During a special vegetarian lunch, centenarian Esther van den Hoven shared her secrets of longevity, which she attributes to hard work and a plant-based diet, essential for a long and active life. King Tupu VI and Queen Nanasipau expressed their desire to strengthen these divine health principles in Tonga, such as caring for the body. The royal visit concluded with a Thanksgiving service in Los Angeles, where the Tongan community gathered to celebrate the importance of health and spirituality through performances by Tongan choirs and bands.
This royal mission highlights the commitment of the Seventh-day Adventist Church to promoting a healthy lifestyle. By caring for our bodies, which are the temple of the Holy Spirit, we can more quickly advance the message of hope in the imminent return of Jesus. In Zambia, a 90-year-old woman inspires her community through her faith. Baptized in 1963, she still treasures her baptism certificate as a testament to her dedication. Noel Simbanda brings us this inspiring story of lifelong faithfulness.
This is Victoria Falls, affectionately known as Monsieur Tunywa, the smoke that thunders, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. Talk about wonders. We have a living testimony of a 90-year-old woman who is a wonder not just to the Seventh-day Adventist Church members only, but to the entire Livingstone community at large. Imagine not being able to retain your faithful tithe and offering to the Lord, not because you don't have it, but because you are too old to walk to the church and you rely on church members to visit you and collect God's tithe. But alas, none of the church members visited this granny for a long time, but she kept the tithe in her bedroom, praying and hoping that one day God will work a plan to collect his tithe.
My name is Janet Nyoni Mulovela, Mrs. Mzumara. I started my education in Zimbabwe. I was born in 1934, 25th December.
Gogo Janet, as she is affectionately known, is a dedicated Seventh-day Adventist Church member who lost her husband many years ago and promised herself that she will remain faithful both in her marriage and tithes and offerings until she breathes her last breath.
I wish my husband was alive to witness all this.
A dedicated member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Gogo Janet was baptized in 1963, and the wonder of it all is that she still has a baptism certificate, and what an amazing testimony.
A voice came at night. How can you be baptized without giving tithe?
The story of Gogo Janet is like a fairy tale. It so happened that during the just-ended Impact Zambia Crusade and the Adventist World Radio Evangelism Training Program in Livingstone, Zambia, the Seventh-day Adventist Church members were looking for a site to mount their tents for the 2-week evangelistic meetings, and the only convenient, strategic, and vacant land belonged to this old lady. After inquiring from the city fathers in Livingstone as to who owned this piece of land, the church members approached Gogo Janet, and she offered the piece of land to be rented by the church members in order to conduct their meetings for free. The old lady asked the young man, Bonaventure, as to which church was it that needed to utilize a piece of land, and to her surprise, it was the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and she was not shy to reprimand the young lay preacher that the church members have not visited for a while, and she had accumulated tithes and offerings for the Lord, and was thus asking the church leaders to come and collect it. Gogo Janet's plea from the church members was not food or aftercare, but she just wanted to experience the Lord's Supper one more time, and the division president, Dr. Harrington Simuya Akombwa, was moved by this request, and the church leaders in Zambia facilitated for a special Lord's Supper for Gogo Janet. It was indeed a humbling ceremony to see the old lady smiling as she took the Lord's Supper. Shortly after the Lord's Supper, the old lady went to her bedroom to fetch her tithes and offerings, which she had accumulated over time. Having experienced a break-in at her house before, Gogo Janet's secret place for the Lord's tithe and offering is a place where thieves can never imagine. Handing over her tithes and offering to the church elder, the church members were moved and humbled, to say the least.
It is so amazing for our mother, our parent, to behave in this manner, especially so in these hard economic times.
I have learned to be faithful with my tithe.
The 90-year-old Gogo Janet is tech-savvy and can use technology just like any other young generation. The first thing that she did after the Lord's Supper was to call the local pastor just to express her gratitude.
Thank you very much, my pastor, for attending this great ceremony. I believe also in heaven, the angels are together.
The good news coming from Livingstone, Zambia, is that just last month, Gogo Janet decided to donate this priceless property right inside the community to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Livingstone, Zambia for free for soul winning as we prepare for his second coming.
It's a matter of that when I sleep, then I leave them with something. That's all. I'm sure it will be a blessing to my family if we give that place to the church.
So this place is on a strategic point where we have the community around. And this community, most of them are non-Adventists. We are busy visiting them each and every day that comes.
The Bible is very true when it says, store up your wealth in heaven where there is no moth or thieves. And Gogo Janet is indeed doing exactly what the scriptures say, as evidenced by her love for Jesus Christ.
For the Adventist News Network, this is Miles Banda reporting from Zambia.
For 40 years, Janet's been the first to arrive and the last to leave, proving that faith isn't just what you believe, it's what you do. The Adventist Volunteer Service connects church members with meaningful volunteer opportunities worldwide. United by a passion for volunteering, Debbie from Bolivia and Bridget from Canada are committed to making a positive impact on their students' lives in Indonesia.
Hello, my name is Bridget Cordella Primus.
Hello, my name is Devi Chakimia.
I'm a missionary working with AVS.
I am serving as an AVS teacher in Dharmaputra Adventist School, Jakarta, Indonesia. And I mainly teach English and work with the little ones. Yes.
Adventist Volunteer Service, or AVS, facilitates church members' volunteer service worldwide. Debbie from Bolivia and Bridget from Canada share a passion for volunteering. Bridget's past experiences have influenced her significantly.
So the reason why I became a missionary is that at the age of 6, I was a homeless child. And I promised myself that no child should ever feel unwanted or unloved. And since that time, I dedicated myself to be a missionary.
Debbie and Bridget's commitment to their students is unwavering. They prioritize God in their ministry, facing daily challenges with determination. Debbie arrives at 8 in the morning and sometimes doesn't go home until 10 at night. The teacher's efforts are appreciated by their students.
What I like from Miss Bridget is she's fun. Just learning with her, it's so completely easy.
Mr. B is kind to us, and Mr. B always makes us happy.
What I like about Miss Bridget is she makes English way easier to learn, faster to understand, and probably make English a bit fun of a subject.
Managing children with diverse backgrounds has significantly impacted Debbie's spiritual life.
Yes, because it's a new experience and you learn a lot. You learn to depend on God because you realize He's the only one I can trust and He's the one who will help me. Also, you have the chance to know and visit other places and also to know new cultures. Yeah. Of course, there is a cultural shock. And yeah, you make new friends, yes, with the locals, with the other volunteers that live in the same place where you are. So I suggest to be a volunteer. Yeah.
This territory needs our support and prayers.
Please pray for the church here in Indonesia so they can have the courage to share about Jesus without fear.
Your generous support enables us to create additional volunteer programs to educate children about Christ worldwide, following the example set by Debbie and Bridget.
For more inspiring mission stories, visit AdventistMission.org. This has been this week's episode of ANN. Present in over 200 countries, the denomination seeks to be the hands and feet of Christ through its members, leaders, administrative headquarters, institutions, and support ministries. You can access other good news by joining the official channels of the Seventh-day Adventist Church on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and also on the ANN website, adventist.news. Share your faith journey and submit prayer requests on our channels. Our team is committed to praying for you 24/7. Before I say goodbye, I leave you with the inspiring words from the book of Acts, chapter 10, verses 34 and 35. In truth, I perceive that God shows no partiality, but in every nation whoever fears him and works righteousness is accepted by him. Study the Bible daily to discover other wonderful promises of hope. God willing, we will meet in the next edition of ANN. God bless you.